And welcome to another episode of Physical Media Format here on the Movie Dawgs channel. And I got a special little treat. Here's another movie that is, I believe, is only made it on just a couple formats, Beta and Laserdisc. I think the only formats that this movie's on. You can get it through Universal's Vault Collection online through Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. But this movie really means a lot to me. This copy of The Wildlife, which was, as you can see here, has Eric Stoltz, Leah Thompson, and Chris Penn. He is the younger brother of legendary actor Sean Penn. Sadly, he's no longer alive. You'll remember him. He was in Reservoir Dogs, Footloose, Best of the Best. This movie was written by Cameron Crowe. It is a companion piece to Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and I think the world of this movie because mostly it was one. If you look at Chris Penn, he kind of resembles my brother, and my brother's been gone for 10 years now, coming this this March. And this was it's a movie that he gave me out of the blue one day, probably a couple years before he died. He didn't give it to me. He left it at my house. Since I had a VHS player too. He's like, dude, look what I found, man. I found this at a flea market. As I said, it's not sold in stores. You only have to get it online because of the I think it was because of the music. The music was done by the late Eddie Van Halen. The score itself, that's the song that you just heard just now. It was from that soundtrack score, which I don't think that even got ever released. You can find that online and on YouTube or any other format you can. But sadly, it's one of those things. It's a semi sequel to Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Probably a lot of stories that did not make it into that film. And so it's a companion piece more or less than a sequel. So, but you can see the poster right here. It's a really cool looking poster. Very, I guess you would call it hipster at the time. You have the very lovely Leah Thompson playing in another film with Eric Stoltz. Of course, they both were in Back to the Future. Of course, Eric Stoltz was let go during production of that film. As I said, very cool picture. You see the old MCA logo, and also here the tagline was, "It brings all your fantasies to life." Now, this movie wasn't as funny as Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I don't think it did very well in the box office either, if I can remember well. But of course, here's the side of each of the sides, if you can get that real good and everything, where it says The Wildlife. Here's the top. Of course, in the back, from the creators of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, something even faster. Of course, movie was directed by Art Linson, and was also written and co-produced by Cameron Crowe. Music by Eddie Van Halen and Don Landy. Don Landy was a engineer for Eddie Van Halen, helped him develop his 5150 studio. But of course, also Chris Penn, sorry, his tagline for his character is, "Hey man, it's casual," which was something that was said a lot back in the 80s. Again, starred Christopher Penn, Eric Stoltz, Leah Thompson, Jenny Wright, Ian Michael Smith, as you can see right here. Those who also remember are big fans of Weird Science. He was in that movie as well. Here, there you go. And of course, this is actress Jenny Wright. As I said, it was just it's teenagers on the verge of adulthood. First time you move out of your house, you find a place and you're gonna roommate with your best bud or something like that, and sometimes you're recovering from the relationship, which we all have suffered from while we were teenagers in high school, and especially if it was a long-term relationship, and blah blah blah, all that crazy hoopla that goes along with being a teenager and then approaching adulthood. It's tough. It's tough trying to get off the ground. I moved out for a while in my it wasn't until my early 20s, but and then of course I was finally left the nest when I got hitched 17 years ago, folks, or 18 years ago. Now that I'm thinking of it, wow. All right, folks. But anyway, folks, let's take this out of its case real quick, and you can see that this was once a video rental. You can see the factory sticker right here. Of course, sadly, it's got a little cave-in, which doesn't really hurt it so much, but eventually I'm going to try to get in there and try to get some type of adhesive to keep that shield window back on there. Of course, you can see there's some deterioration. Back in the 80s, that was a big problem when it comes to some of the adhesives that were on the back of these stickers. They would decolor. They would turn into like a brownish tint or a yellowish tint. Of course, you can see here where it says wildlife and the MCA logo. And, same here. Back then, the font of the logo of the movie and everything was a little smaller, and of course, the MCA logo, everything was a little bit smaller. They were really trying to push that FBI warning label a little bit. Now, you can barely even see the FBI warning label because no one really gives a rat's ass. Anyway, folks, but again, yeah, I'm eventually going to try to buy it on DVD through their Vault collection. Sadly, I hear that, 20th Century Fox, before it became 20th Century Studios after the buyout from Disney, they themselves had a archive collection, same as Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers does the same thing. Movies that are not out there in the mass market. Sadly, I heard Disney's kind of making the 20th Century Studios backtrack a little bit and put a lot of stuff in their quote-unquote Disney Vault. So sadly, that I hate seeing that. You got Disney Plus and you guys got Hulu. Get that crap out of there. Movies are meant to be seen, not put away in a vault. That is my quote for the day. Thank you very much. I dropped the mic. Boom. Anyway, folks. Anyway, again, like this video, hit that thumbs up, folks. That helps this video, and it also helps the analytics of this channel out a lot. Please hit that thumbs up. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel. That helps a lot too. And I don't get paid for this, folks. But I do like to get those numbers up, and maybe eventually be able to do this full time for a living and everything. I would love to do this channel full time. Even though it's been around 5 years, I played it safe, and then I wanted it to grow naturally, and it is growing naturally, especially this past year and a half. It's done really well. But again, just if you have seen this movie, tell me what your thoughts on it and everything. Do you think it was a worthy companion piece to Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which starred Penn's brother, Sean Penn? As I said, there's very big differences in styles. Still got the 80s styles like Fast Time, but it is also a movie of its own, and it's not that bad at all. So again, check it out, and give me your thoughts on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this movie. So, folks, in the meantime, be sure to be careful out around there. Watch all the movies you possibly can on any type of format. Especially physical format, since they're trying to push her out. So, but again, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and please keep on watching Movie Dawgs.